I'm Heather.
I'm Nate.
And this is Lacey.
We're going to the LA Times Festival of Books.
Max Greenfield from New Girl and The Neighborhood, he wrote a couple children's books, and he's going to talk to us about them. They're awesome.
Guys, calm down. It's just me. It's just me. Welcome back to the children's stage, everybody. I'm so excited to welcome actor, author Max Greenfield. I know. Reading to us from this book is not a present. Everybody, big welcome to Max.
I got confused with the mic. I didn't know if he was going to give. I don't know. It was very confusing. Awkward exchange. Love you too. Hi guys. How's everybody doing? Not you guys. The yous down here. How's everybody doing? We're good? Should we read a book? Should we just jump in and read a book? I have time up here. Should I read both of them? There's two. Maybe let's do this one. All right. This book. All right. I'll give you a little bit. So, this was a follow-up book to I Don't Want to Read This Book. And I Don't Want to Read This Book was the first book I wrote. I wrote it during the pandemic. I was trying to get my daughter to read books. She didn't want to read a book. Somebody asked me if I wanted to write a book, and I said I would write a book about not wanting to read a book. And by the end of that book, whoever was reading that book had read a book. That was pretty good. And the lovely people at Penguin were like, we like that idea, let's do it. So, while I was writing that book, I felt like there was a lot of other ideas that sort of didn't make the cut. And I thought, how could I use those ideas and where could I put those ideas? And that's how this book came about. The first book is dedicated to my daughter, Lily. This one's dedicated to my son, Ozzy. Ozzy loves presents and does not like books. And every time he opens a present that is a book, he's very disappointed. So I sort of walk you through the experience of that in this book, but it's also not a present. Written by Max Greenfield, that's me. And illustrated by Mike Lowry, who's not here and very less important. No, he's great. He draws the pictures and it's way cooler than writing it, so I just, I put him down now. Okay, here we go. The book, not a good start. This book is not a present. The gift you never knew you wanted. Now, this is a technique I learned last year. This book is not a present, written by Max Greenfield, illustrated by Mike Lowry. You already know that. Is not a present. I know it was disguised as a present, all beautifully wrapped with a bow and a card attached, but let me assure you, it is very much not a present. I know presents. I'm friends with presents. And this book is no present. And then the present is saying hi, which is really cute. I didn't write that, Mike did, but it's fun. I just keep reliving the moment in my head, the moment just before I unwrapped it, expecting to find something, anything other than a book. Why couldn't it have been a dog? A dog is a present. A skateboard, that's a present. Even socks would have been a great present, because at least socks would keep my feet warm while riding my skateboard and playing with what should have been my new dog. I would have named the dog Bingo. Listen, this isn't rocket science. This book is not a present for one reason and one reason alone. Now I feel like I have to read it. Waffle Witches. However, just because I like to cook doesn't mean I have any interest in reading a cookbook. The same goes for reading any kind of instructions. Step 1, a book is not a present. Step 2, neither is a book of instructions that might be included with a present, making that present not a present. Step 3, a dog doesn't come with instructions. Also, as if I have time to read a book. Like I said, I'm very busy doing things. And when I'm not doing things, I'm thinking about things. I think about things all the time, and my thoughts are great. Books are full of someone else's thoughts, and even though reading someone else's thoughts sounds like a superpower, it's not one that I want. X-ray vision would have been a great present. A single occasion that would make it okay to give someone a book as a present. Not Christmas, not Flag Day, not a birthday, not tax day, not Hanukkah, not Kwanzaa, not the 4th of July, not Groundhog's Day, not Valentine's Day, not Easter, not National Donuts Day, not even Cinco de Mayo, definitely not Halloween, maybe April Fool's Day. I would never do this to someone. Why? Because I'm an incredible listener, and I've never heard anyone say that they want a book as a present. If a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? The answer is yes. I heard the tree because that's how good a listener I am. And it said, please don't turn me into a book. That's how trees talk. I wish somebody would have listened to me. Maybe then I would have turned the tree into an electric guitar. You guys play guitar? Neither do I. Thank goodness. Ugh, it looks like I'm done with this book that's still not a present. Now, if someone asks, I'll be able to say that I've read it. I guess then I'll only have lied about the slime. Finishing this book does feel like the perfect present to myself. Maybe I'll write me a thank you note. To me. All I can say is, wow, thank you. You read this entire book that definitely wasn't a present. You must be very smart and also cool. From me. P.S. The end. Hold on. All right, fine. It was me who clogged the toilet with slime. There, my conscience is now clean. That's the end. It's a lot of effort. Jeez Louise. When we were writing it, a lot of it was thinking about how kids and sometimes adults, me, how they learn, how we learn. And so when we're talking about in the book about how, you know, I'm a doer and I want to make the waffle witch instead of reading the instructions, whilst, you know, reading the instructions is important. This is about how different children learn and how different people learn. And it ties into the first book, which was more about structure and words and paragraphs. Embrace reading and not necessarily falling in love with it, because that expectation is often not met. So that's where we are with these books. I love them. We have another one coming out next year. It's called I Don't Want to Read This Book Aloud. There's an elephant in the book that is really, really exciting. It was the first character we've used in a book. Oh, hello, it's nice to meet you. What was my favorite part of writing it? Great question. When you're writing a story that you know and that you're connected with and that is true to you, the writing is really easy. You know the story and you know where it's supposed to go, and so expressing that is really enjoyable. And is that these are very connected to who I am. These are very connected to my family, to some of the people around me, and we know these stories. And so writing them has been an absolute joy, and the people at Penguin have been so wonderful in embracing it. Well, obviously I'm a much better writer than I am an actor. I'm not all that talented. I know this for a fact. No, it's fun. I will say, the books were very specifically written and are specifically written as performance pieces. They're really, I like that they're all written in the first person, frustrated and mad and all these different things in these books, and have it be yourself as the reader was a big part of the book. I had a friend of mine read it. He goes, "Am I going to be able to perform the book?" And I go, yeah, it's going to be great. And he goes, "I like those books." But yeah, so to me was always a big part of the book, being able, and watching teachers do it too, and librarians and people who are not used to expressing some of these ideas. It's been so rewarding to watch teachers read these books to their children, or to have children read the books in classrooms. We were in a second Schmidt reading Dr. Seuss is a good time. Not that there's much of a difference between me and that. But I can get some good run on those. I'll like start over in the middle of a Dr. Seuss book with my kid. I'm like this. No, I messed up the rhythm. I gotta go back to the beginning. Up front. Very good question. Do I ever think I'll write a book with Nick Miller? Well, it's tough because Nick's a fictional character, so I guess the question is, would I ever write a book with Jake? I know. The sad thing is that was part. Like that's part of the. It's part. I don't want. It's part of the show. It's not real. And Jake, unfortunately, cannot read or write. And so, I mean, we could get through it, but it would be long. It'd be a long process. You know. It's a challenge with him. Just reading a script was a challenge with him. Are there parts that were written by my kids? Yeah. In the first one, there's a line where I think it's like, I have better things to do, and during that time, it was like right in the middle of homeschooling, and there was another girl who was friends with my daughter who would FaceTime in, and we'd go over all the homework and stuff together. And a lot of it was reading, and at that point, you know, some of it would be me reading to them. And I asked her at one point, I go, hey, let me ask you something. I'm writing this thing. What do you not like about reading? And she was just like, well, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like I have better things to do. And I went, hold on. You said I have better things to do? And she goes, yeah, whatever. But yeah, there are moments. And I'll like run things by. I go, does this sound okay to you? Does this sound good? And at this point, she kind of like knows it. She gets annoyed by it. She's like, what is this going in like a book or something? I'm like, no, I'm just asking for, fun, for like fun. What is the best present I've ever gotten? I'm really into like snacks. So if somebody gets me like treats or snacks or something, right now that's a good gift for me. I've been hungry lately. The young gentleman in the middle.
Now that you have the writing bug, are you going to write a movie or a TV show?
I'm trying, again, it breaks the 40-page mark, which is tough for me. I am writing something right now, and I don't want to say anything about it because I really want to get it made. The problem, it felt like it was easier to get the book made than it is to get a movie made, which is really hard. So everybody, fingers crossed, or we could all chip in like, I don't know, $100,000 each. My man. Why are we getting all the great questions down here? The adults are blowing it. What inspired me to write the book? Again, I think, this was a big part of my story. It's a big part of our family story, my story as a parent, my story as a child, learning how to read and embracing reading and having difficulty doing that. Still to this day, I'll get scripts sent to me and I'll go like this, oh, I can't. After it made sense, we started to write it, and the writing process was really easy because, again, it was a story that was a part of me, and it was really true to my experience. Up front, I'm going to write a 700-page book all about my experience on New Girl. It's the only thing that I'll ever break the 40 pages for. And I'm going to write it with Jake. I don't want to announce it right here, but I guess we're doing it. Any publisher? I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much. Keep it going for Max Greenfield, everybody!
Oh my gosh, that was so fun. He was so good. I love his books. He did such a great job.
Lacey liked it so much, she insisted on standing in line to get his autograph.
The line was so long, and he was so nice. He said he was going to stay there until all the books were signed.
And he was even taking pictures with every fan. A lot of the authors weren't doing that.
And Lacey was his biggest fan.
Max and Lacey were joking around and having a good time.
I just can't tell you enough how nice he was. He's been signing books for about 2 hours now. His hand has got to be completely cramped.
After meeting Max and getting her autographed copies, Lacey came away a happy doggy.
Thanks for going to see Max Greenfield with us. Lacey says don't forget to pick up a copy of his book no matter what age you are.